outpatient treatment centers such as oncology centers and surgery centers. Facility directory information, including name, location in general terms, and religious affiliation may be provided to community clergy members, but this practice is voluntary. So that only those patients who have not adopted out of the facility directory may be included, and the information must be divided by religious affiliation. So a process must be put into place to verify that each clergy is indeed a member of the clergy, and then they should be given a badge or other identification. So let's check our knowledge. What information does the HIPAA privacy rule permit facilities to disclose to clergy members? The answer is the HIPAA privacy rule permits facilities to disclose facility directory information, which includes the individual's name, location, and condition in general terms, and religious affiliation to members of the clergy. Now, the next policy we're going to discuss is the designated record set model policy. Each facility must define and maintain a designated record set, or DRS. Now, the HIPAA privacy rule requires that patients or patients' personal representatives must be allowed certain rights to the DRS, such as the right to access, amend, or request restrictions on the use or disclosures of DRS. Now, the DRS encompasses information beyond your traditional medical and billing records. HIPAA defines certain items that must be included in the DRS, such as face sheets, transfer forms, and pathology reports. Now, this policy should include a complete list of required forms and reports, and a list of information that must not be included in the DRS, such as psychotherapy notes. Now, please keep in mind that if you're from a dental office or a mental health office or chiropractor, every designated record set is going to be different. So please do make sure that your policy states what is included in your DRS. Now, the facility must have a process in place for the patient or the patient's personal representative to access, amend, or request restrictions on the use on the disclosures of their DRS. In addition, a process must be in place to track and provide an accounting of disclosures made for their DRS. Now, this policy may be customized to add the operational details of the facility's specific processes. So let's discuss determination of and uses and disclosures of de-identified information model policy. The de-identified information is information that is not individually identifiable. Health information that does not identify an individual and for which there is no reasonable basis to believe that it can be used to identify an individual is not PHI and is no longer covered by the HIPAA privacy standards. Now, there are specific circumstances that allow information to be considered de-identified under HIPAA. Information may only be determined as being de-identified in one of two cases. First, if a person with appropriate knowledge and experience with generally accepted statistical and scientific methods for rendering information not individually identifiable applies such methods, determines that the risk is very small that the information would be used by a recipient to identify the individual, and documents the methods and results of the analysis that justify such determination. Now, information can also be de-identified by removing certain identifiers of the individual, relatives, employees, or household members. Now, as you can see, this slide contains a complete list of all identifiers of the individual, relatives, employees, and household members that must be removed for information to be considered de-identified. So basically what you're looking at is on this slide are the HIPAA PHI identifiers. So these are known as the 18-element HIPAA PHI identifiers right here on this slide. PHI, Protected Health Information. Okay, so a code or other means of record identification may be assigned to allow de-identified information to be re-identified, provided that the code or other means is not derived from, related to, information about the individual and is not otherwise capable of being transcribed so as to identify the individual. And the code or other means is not used or disclosed for any other purpose and does not disclose the mechanism for re-identification. Now, disclosing the code or other means of re-identification constitutes a disclosure of PHI. Now, if de-identified information is re-identified, such re-identified information may be used or disclosed only as permitted or required by HIPAA.